In this week's analysis, we have been through the big brands and their brand mentions across international news media, and what was particularly of interest to us was the launch of Apple's new watch and the amount of exposure that received. It was truly enormous. We had a look across 100 countries in 75 languages for reference to the watch specifically, against other big stories like ISIS, the Cricket World Cup, and Jeremy Clarkson's exit from Top Gear, and the possibility that Top Gear might be suspended as a program. And we put those on the chart, and Apple's watch comes in at 80% of the international coverage over a 7-day period, making it almost 6 times as big as ISIS internationally. So while we were doing that analysis, we came up with some other brands, and what we considered was a brand fail was Fanta Orange in Germany launched a Back to the Good Old Days campaign. This was their 75th anniversary of Fanta Orange in Germany, and when they launched the campaign as Back to the Good Old Days, what they failed to recognize is 75 years before took them straight into the Nazi Germany timeline. They very quickly pulled that campaign. But while we were doing that analysis, it became quite interesting to see how much flack Fanta has taken here at home because of a Health 24 survey. So we started having a look at the sugary drinks market as a whole over a 7-day period. Health 24 produced a survey where they measured the most sugary drinks across our country, and they ranked them from the most sugary to the least sugary. Fanta Grape came in as the most sugary drink of all, with 44.1 grams of sugar in a 330 ml can. That is a whopping amount of sugar, and it took quite a bit of flack from the media, specifically on radio media, where they had like a guessing game about which was the most sugary drink. People were also astonished to see the amount of sugar in Schweppes' dry lemon that came in at 42.3 grams. So this prompted us to now have a look at the sugary drinks market as a whole in South Africa. Also because recently some of the major fast food outlets have removed sugary drinks for children from their menus. So it is an awareness drive that's happening, it seems, across the board about the sugary drinks market. So we had a look at the Health 24's survey, and we put those brands onto a chart and measured how much publicity they're getting overall. So there are many. I mean, there's a good 15 brands involved in this analysis survey, but what is astonishing is where Coca Cola sits in the ranking for brand exposure. Over 90% of the media on sugary drinks belongs to Coca Cola. What is also fascinating from a media monitoring and intelligence provider is the brand perception of Coca Cola with the Health 24 survey was improved, because people didn't realize that Coke didn't have as much sugar as people thought it did. So whereas Fanta Grape took a bit of a lashing, Coca-Cola won a prize, if you like, from that survey. When we remove Coca-Cola from that analysis, because Coke certainly skews the percentages, and we just look at the balance of the sugary drink market, what is equally fascinating is that Sprite comes in at almost 60% of the brand exposure across our country.